Hello, and welcome to the Path of Most Persistence. This is a place where we hear and share tenacious stories of overcoming obstacles with our partners who dare to share a bit of their own personal paths.
Howdy. Today we're in College Station, Texas at the Texas A&M University campus in the Zachary Engineering Building Complex. And I have three outstanding professionals with me. Very excited for this conversation. But before I do, I want to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Micah Pacheco. I am the Regional Science Supervisor from the Department of Education, National Capital Region, Philippines.
Oh, hi, I'm Habibah Adnan. I'm from Malaysian Nuclear Agency. I'm a Director of Information Management Division now.
Hi, I'm Roxane Villanueva. I'm an Education Program Supervisor from Mandaluyong City in the Philippines.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Now, just for background to our audience, these three women are exceptional. They are top-notch, but I had the great honor of meeting them many, many years ago. We're going to talk about that. But this week, they are here with a project that has been coordinated through the International Atomic Energy Agency, Argonne National Laboratory, Prairie View A&M University, and the Nuclear Power Institute was asked to provide in this program leadership, assistance in providing the construction for the programming, and also helping with constructing and providing tours, visits, and the like with some of our partners as well. Now, again, we met many years ago, and the purpose of that visit or that introduction was when the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, and this was probably what, 2012?
2014.
2014 for you guys, but for me,
but for way earlier.
Yeah, I was contacted by the IAEA to help them begin to construct a pilot program for secondary school teachers to help bring about awareness for nuclear technology, sciences, and the like, so that there's a grassroots approach to countries involving, because as we all know, educators are the foundation for every community, every society. Right. But I was contacted because the IAEA became very much aware of the Nuclear Power Institute's outreach, our structure, our innovative way of bringing about partnerships between K-12 education, higher education, and industry partners. Also, leadership at every level. So for today's visit, they are here as part of a 3-week visit that, as I mentioned earlier, is in partnership with the IAEA, Argonne National Lab, Prairie View University, to extend from the original project these types of programming into the African continent. And for this particular visit, you guys are going to have to really provide some details and correct me, but there are approximately 18 educators, secondary?
17.
Oh, 17 secondary educators from many different African countries here to learn all the things that these three professionals have learned, and they're here to help share their experiences. So on that note, I'm going to ask each of these outstanding professionals to share a little bit of their background and how it is that they are now considered national experts in this area.
We started in 2014 because my supervisor then was part of the project.
Yes.
And then they started in our school. We are the pilot school. At that time, it's all about extracurricular activities.
Yes.
And then they have this compendium of activities. And then we choose which among of these activities will be applicable in our school, and particularly in Quezon City. And we choose your activities, particularly
and NPI programming. Yes,
it's the Powerset
Yes.
and the Science on Saturdays and the Imoto-san, the Japan activity.
Yes.
So that's the first start or the involvement that we have, and we met you there.
yes, it's wonderful.
Yes, and after that, after the series of activities, you help us with the technical assistant, particularly how do we come up with activities like the Powerset, how to build Powerset, how to choose these young ladies, because
Yes.
not all the young ladies in the school will be involved. There should be characteristics and qualifications, and
Yes.
we follow your qualification with the pearls. and then after that, we have the SOS.
Yes.
We conducted, I think, twice during the pilot implementation until 2016, and then 2017 you come in, you help us with the memorandum of understanding with the Department of Education to formalize the partnership between the education side and the PNRI. That's how it. Okay.
Thank you so much for that explanation. But you mentioned Powerset a few times.
Yes.
So for our audience, they may not have ever heard of Powerset. So can you explain that acronym?
This are the powerful opportunities for women, for
Eager and ready.
eager and ready
Science.
for science,
Engineering. And
and
technology.
Yes, I still remember.
Because
so much.
NPI created that program. Actually, I created that program back when I was still a high school principal, and that was maybe 2007 before I started with NPI.
And I mentioned yesterday, I mentioned to you that the Powerset, remember the siblings, or
Yes.
they are now graduate as geodetic engineers, the first part of the Powerset team.
Yes.
So they are now working as engineers.
So it made a difference.
Yeah, because before I think they wanted to have a course related to journalism, I think.
Yes,
And then
yes.
when they enter and become the member of the Powerset, remember they are good in singing.
Yeah, all
and they
the things,
sing
yes.
for you. And then they change their mind, and they have the opportunity now, careers, and even studied to the best university in the Philippines.
I love that, and I think you two will speak to some of your experiences as well. But what I love about that is that our students, it doesn't matter their grade level, but they have so many talents. And I think programs like Powerset and all the like that you all will speak to, it's just about, at least for me, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just about providing them opportunities that they maybe, or concepts that perhaps they would never have considered otherwise.
I know how you combine the arts.
Yes.
With during our engagement with them,
Yes.
you even let them compose a poem.
I still have that poem. I have it saved in a very special place because it was quite emotional for me. It was lovely, very lovely.
Their interest, and combine it with the science.
Yes.
And then, hooray, we have now students who are equipped or who wanted to become part of the STEM careers.
And that's so beautiful because it is the arts, it is the other areas that sometimes we don't always associate with engineering that really enrich our way of thinking and creating. It's all of it that brings it to that. Oh, I love that so much. Okay. So please.
All right. My involvement with this IAEA started way back in 2014 when I attended IAEA meeting.
Yes.
And then Valerie is there together with other experts. And then at that time, Malaysia is actually looking forward to refine our curriculum, especially on science and technology. And just because of this event, this program, we managed to change. All right, we managed to pursue the people from the Ministry of Education.
Okay, wait,
That's
say that
good, isn't it?
again because the word change at that high, at such a level, how did it happen?
This is very good. When we work with the IAEA, they are very good in strategic planning.
Yes.
Because at that time, I remember they asked us to bring people who can actually participate and do some decision making.
The right people.
Yes, people that had the power to make change. Yes.
That is very important. And I'm from the Nuclear Institute. Therefore, on top of that, I took along the people from the Ministry of Education, the curriculum developer. So remember the compendium? Okay. So we let the people from the Ministry of Education choose the best, which is very adapt to our country.
Yes.
And then there are few. I just focus on the Japan.
Yes.
activities.
Yes.
Your Imoto-san.
Yes. Oh, Imoto-san.
From that, the Ministry of Education people see that it's very workable,
Yes.
it's very relatable, and that's it. I mean, the rest is history. We change the curriculum. It's not really change. We refine our curriculum.
Yes.
So that we integrate many
it's
aspects of
embedded.
it.
It's embedded.
It's embedded in the curriculum already. Yeah.
But also, do you think beyond it being embedded into the curriculum or influencing curriculum, but it's also part of the culture now? In one way that, you know, students and maybe even their parents, it's had an influence on maybe thinking beyond what they thought was possible for themselves as a student, or for parents, what they thought was possible for their children?
Because it's in our case, we don't have that particularly. We integrate. We map. But we have the science. But we have the science high school, and I know Roxane can say something about it.
All right. I think my involvement with nuclear science education stretched back to 2005, when I was a new teacher, and I was made to attend a training by the Philippine Nuclear Research Institute for physics teachers to learn about nuclear science better. Because in the Philippines, the nuclear science part at that time,
it's in the first quarter.
It's in the first quarter, and not all physics teachers were equipped to really teach that, because the teacher training institutions did not have that part yet. And so the PNRI spearheaded programs like that, and I was part of that program.
Every year. It's a prestigious.
So you study at the institute for one month, and then you come back with a renewed understanding of the different applications of nuclear science, and hopefully embed that in your classroom. And so at that time, there is some disorganization at how we input nuclear energy, nuclear science into our curriculum. But in 2018, I worked with a fellow science teacher, a chemistry teacher, in coming up with a lesson exemplar integrating nuclear science. And he was chosen to be one of the demonstration teachers. And so he demonstrated
when
a lesson. That was when you visited our school, Mandaluyong Science High School. And we integrated also the use of ICT, the tablet, in learning about nuclear science. And from then on, fast forward to 2019, I became part of the training for trainers, and eventually become part of the training pool of trainers as well. And so now we have worked in Sydney with Habibah before at Ansto, and also we were also invited in Nepal prior to the pandemic.
We went to Nepal.
Wow!
Before the
pandemic
closed, of course.
right before the
COVID.
It was a really touching experience, because Nepal and the Philippines share some sort of limitations in terms of resources and teaching, and we were able to impart a lot of assistance regarding that. As you know, Filipino teachers are very resourceful and resilient, and then we learn about that. And so what happened there is that after Chris demonstrated the lesson, a lot of the learners, a lot of the students got interested in nuclear science. And eventually, we formulated a separate subject for it, an elective subject for it. So it's no longer integrated. It's no longer simply integrated into the curriculum, but it's a standalone subject taken up by the grade 10 students.
For our special science learners.
That is incredibly beautiful.
Using the framework, the global framework that was done in Tokyo. Remember, they have the standards, what are the topics to be included. And our teachers who were trained under this program were the ones spearheading the crafting of the curriculum and activities for their learners.
Learning materials.
Even learning materials.
Modules that the students can answer and all that.
That's so impactful, because you have direct control over the instruction and influence, automatic influence. So for doing this, for some of you, almost 10 years, it's incredible. So what is it meant to you? What have you seen as evidence that these are strong programs, these kinds of relationships, either internationally or even in your own communities, your own country? What has that meant? And also, I want to know, how does it feel to be considered a national expert by the IAEA and Argonne National Lab?
At first, there's an excitement because we can travel and we meet friends, but of course the preparation, because you bring all your experiences, and you cannot just say some story there. There should be proof, a living proof that you really do it. Okay, and then and of course we are being equipped prior to become an expert of this activity. We are involved in the scientific visit and fellowship. So IAEA sent us to Indonesia, to Malaysia for us to see how the project evolved and what they are doing also. Not only to see the things that is done in our country, but also for the other member states, especially in the Asia Pacific.
Yes.
And then we collaborated, and they always, the technical experts from the IAEA always listen to our voice.
Of course,
So
yes.
when we say that, the project becomes bigger, and it's not only the three of us who can do that. Let's help train the trainers.
Let me emphasize something. So this is now the IAEA Listening
Yes.
to educators,
Yes.
classroom educators.
Yes.
And that is phenomenal. And honestly, your project was the first of its kind for the IAEA. They, from my understanding, way back then in 2012, that's why they needed such assistance, is that they had never attempted to make such a grassroots effort with really anyone, but definitely with educators. And what a beautiful and powerful impact it has made almost 10 years
Because
later.
They usually send scientists and
Yes.
from the technology side, but now, hey, what the
From the
teachers are
industry.
doing, in fact, they are asking, nuclear energy, are you creating a bomb?
Yes. It helps demystify.
Yes,
It helps
but,
demystify.
yeah. But because they listen now and they say, oh, we have to involve more teachers
Yes.
and also the supervisors, the leaders.
Yes.
Because the leaders,
decision makers.
Yes, the decision maker. You really need the decision makers
Yes.
because they have the control. Okay?
Absolutely.
And then after that, a lot of contests were provided
Yes.
for the teachers.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
Showcases.
teachers and the students, they involve them, and then of course the perks, going to Vienna,
Of
going
course,
to other countries.
yes,
And now,
yes.
it's not only in the national capital region. In fact, there are
Region
teachers from Region 1, from other
These
regions,
are rural areas.
even to the far-flung areas, joining the competition. So it's not only within our region, but other region in the Philippines joined and even went to Vienna, went to Oman. They presented their papers there. They shared their experiences.
That's so wonderful.
So it's not only us now. We're becoming bigger and wider. And the range is
But
becoming-
now,
Yeah.
we would love, because this is the first time we work with the AFRA. This is
Yes.
something new.
Yes.
And it is because your model was so successful. They have seen, they've been able to track the results, the impact. But that just goes to, and I want to talk about this visit. I want to get to that for sure, this particular visit. But I don't think generally, I mean, I know the general audience has an appreciation for educators, but I don't think overall, and the greater culture, there is such a great impact or an appreciation for the impact educators have. And that an international agency, the IAEA, that has so many responsibilities and so, I know they're sometimes considered a watchdog, that no one likes that term, but it's not always about non-proliferation or weapons, but it's also these kinds of grassroots efforts to bring about an awareness and understanding of how nuclear applications can help small communities. And it can help not only in energy, of course, but in all types of application, be it agriculture, medicine, water, all the things. So again, I appreciate you guys so much for taking the time to visit with me. So these are great stories that I want everyone to hear. So let's talk about why you guys are here now.
All right, this week
Yes.
we are together with these 17 very wonderful teachers from the AFRA, very active.
Yes.
And they choose the right people.
That's
Yes, because they're combined with the young teachers and then some of the
Yes.
experience.
yes.
Or I think an engineer by profession, but teaches.
Oh, very good. Yes, that happens. Yes.
So this week what we did is actually a sharing session.
Yes.
Personally, myself, I share about the communication, how they can reach their partners,
Yes.
especially in the nuclear-related
Yes.
agencies, because some of them might not realized that we actually have some programs,
Yes.
outreach programs, nuclear education outreach, which we work with the schools.
Yes.
So then I explain about it, and then on top of that, about the carriers,
Yes.
because they don't see because people always associate the carriers will be like in nuclear power
Yes.
plants.
Yes.
Then there are so many carriers available related to it.
That's right.
The
They can
careers and how much
transcend.
they're going to
Yeah, they
earn.
will.
And
Yes.
they are being thrilled because you presented how
I
much.
mentioned that.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Even another expert top up with another information, and then I said, I should be.
I should be.
oncologist.
Because how much earning the oncologists had, but that's a good thing. And the designing of because we appreciate
The
Argonne,
training.
the training
Yes.
matrix,
Design.
which Dave from the Argonne Laboratory able to design it for 3 weeks, because in our experience in Asia Pacific, it's only 2 weeks.
Yes.
But for the African country, it's 3 weeks. And we love how it is being spread to make it not a sort of a difficult task for the teachers. Because
Yes.
at the end of this, what Rox and I are doing is to present to them the innovative strategies.
Yes.
The first week is about content. It
Yes.
will be discussed by Dave.
Yes.
It's about heavy
Technical
content,
knowledge.
Yes.
the knowledge.
Yes.
Okay. And then here we come in as educators.
I love it.
How we're going to put this in our classroom.
Just the
Yes.
practicability of it, that it's very practical. It can be applied to
Yeah.
any type of subject. But what I also, love about this so much is that, again, classroom educators, and then of course we have those involved, information experts, which are critical too, because you're messaging. But again, did you ever think that as a classroom educator, I can say that I never thought that you would have a global impact on. You probably, have you thought of it that way?
No. In fact, we are so
You need to. You're having a global impact.
Yeah, I never really look at it that way until now. So
Yes.
that's true. So because you're used to like just talking to Filipino school children,
Yes.
at a certain age, or maybe teachers if you're training the
Yes.
teachers. But this experience has actually taught me how to see things in different perspectives and
Beautiful.
appreciate how this nuclear technology cuts across different industries
That's
and
right.
in different countries as well. And with this experience with the African teachers,
Yes.
different continents as well. So,
And how did they unite as teachers?
yes.
Yes, because as a teacher is a teacher is a teacher. It doesn't matter what country, there are some commonalities that transcend.
And IAEA put us together, work together as educators for a common cause.
Yes.
And I never thought that whenever I saw in my Facebook or an email from other country telling, Micah, thank you very much for all the sharings that you have given us.
Yes.
Now we're using this in our country. Yeah, because
So pretty good ROI.
Yeah, the ROI.
Yes.
Because on the third week of their visit here or training, they have to simulate. Actually, we will be seeing how they're going to teach this nuclear science, integrate this in their classroom. 1 hour lesson simulation.
I love it. And listen, I could talk. We'll continue this conversation later, but I know we have to wrap this up. But before we do, while I ask Roxane, I want to go back to a comment you made. I want you guys to think about your closing comments to our audience. What maybe we haven't discussed that you really wanted, everyone to know. You want people to know, but we haven't discussed. But Roxane, to one of your points you made about getting all this input, other countries, other cultures, that's also the beauty of this program from the beginning, that experts or individuals from different countries came together, developed the compendium, shared it with you guys first, that no one said you have to do this. Pick what is important to your country, your community, your culture, because every culture, every country, every community has its own preferences, it has its own what's important to them. So I think that has been really phenomenal in the fact that, and even as experts yourselves now, you're learning from the new ones, as I learned so much from you guys as well. Yeah.
So I think even if we had different curricula, different standards in science, different ways of integrating it. It would all boil down to really raising the awareness of these learners, not only on what nuclear science and technology is, but more importantly, how it applies to their lives, to the different aspects of their lives. Because sometimes we just associate it with energy generation or with but really the technology is there and could really help developing countries a lot. So if we could communicate that to them, to the teachers, and they in turn communicate those pieces of information to their learners, then we would have people with raised awareness and probably work towards achieving those goals that we are talking about.
So well said. Any closing comments or any thoughts?
I really love this project because I have the opportunity to work with the young people and as well as adult professionals.
Amazing professionals, yes.
And then we touch lives. That's it.
Yes. I always go back with how I love teaching and how we're going to capacitate our teachers. If we only give them the power, if we only have giving them the importance, the teacher will teach. They are brave enough to teach our learners. They will face our learners and really grow them and help them grow to become better citizens of our nation. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Love our teachers.
Okay, see, I mean, when you have professionals like this, there's nothing more for me to say. We're going to continue our conversation, but for the sake of this interview, this chat that we're having today, I'm going to say again, I appreciate you all so much. What a joy that you're here in College Station on the A&M campus in our beautiful Zachary building. But I'm so glad that we met so many years ago, and no matter near or far, you will always influence and have special regard in my heart. And to the audience, again, what a pleasure. But I also want to make a connection. These are international programming, these are international individuals on a huge platform, the IAEA, Argonne National Lab, and of course, Prairie View A&M University that has helped construct and hosting this event. But for us at NPI, the T's NPI, it's been such a joy and a benefit because not only do we have the opportunity to engage with professionals at this level, but it has brought an awareness to our young people, that diversity for which these individuals bring, but it has helped us improve our grassroots outreach efforts. It's brought awareness to what we do every day, to our partners that are involved at the industry level, at the education level, and also with leaders amongst communities. But now, here, they're in the Zachary building, so we're sharing the beauties, the wonders, the opportunities of A&M engineering in all capacities, and also we're highlighting all the things that the great state of Texas does and produces every day. So on that, I'm going to say goodbye, and to our audience, thank you so much for joining. I hope that you'll follow us, them, and the IAEA, Argonne National Lab, and Prairie View University, and all their successful programs. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.